Now I request Mr. Chand Narayan to give a brief description about how MASTI evolved and the vision for the future. Let's invite him with a good round of applause, please.
Namaste. Esteemed Chief Guest, Shri Yashoda, IPS Commissioner of Police, Hyderabad City, Shrimati L. Ramadevi, Director Emerging Technologies, OSD Department of IT and Communications, Government of Telangana. Respected guests of honor, Ms. Ritu Shah, Chairperson Vicky Fellow, Dr. Ms. Sajida Khan, Dr. Ms. Somdutta Karat, Senior Scientist, CCMB, Ms. Sri Harshita Chadha, Legal Consultant for Bachpan Bachao Andolan, Ms. Shefali Rao, Co-founder of Food for Thought, Shri Meela Jaydev, President of FTCCI, Ms. Himanshi Katragada. Beloved volunteers, without whom it would be very difficult for us to do anything. Inspiring teachers, and we saw an example of that. Nurturing staff. We do have snacks every day at MASTI. The MASTI founding team members and my fellows, and I'm very happy to be a part of this really engaging group. But most importantly, dear MASTI children and the parents of MASTI children, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to share the origin story of MASTI, how the idea of MASTI came about. So Yashoda Foundation had already been in setting up learning centers for children, for supporting them with their school studies. But you know the human spirit. It always asks, what is next? And so we put our heads together and we did a little bit of talking, a little bit of research. We looked at a number of ideas and we heard a lot of very capable and people and people who are ideation leaders. For example, Sir Ken Robinson, he's an educationist, was an educationist, he passed very recently, but his ideas are amazing. But in particular, Mr. Saugata Mitra, Dr. Saugata Mitra. He had done an experiment about 25 years back, which was called the hole in the wall. Now the story about this hole in the wall is that he was working as a chief scientist in an IT company, and he decided to make a hole in the wall in his office that separated it from the neighborhood. And in that hole, he installed a computer facing outwards. Please remember, 25 years back, computers had not percolated to the extent that they are part of our everyday lives. People had to actually go to an institute and learn how to operate a computer. Most people hadn't seen computers 25 years back. It was mostly in the scientific institutions and in institutions of, in technology organizations that the computers were accessible. So at this time, Dr. Saugata Mitra put a computer in a hole in the wall facing outwards, and it was accessible from a space where children from the neighborhood would come and play in the evening. And he wanted to observe what will happen. Here is what happened. These children, some very young, some older children, in a very short period of time, just by figuring out how to use the keyboard, how to use the mouse, and what happens, we're all able to learn how to operate a computer. These are all children who have not seen a computer, who don't know what an operating system is, what a keyboard is, and what a mouse is, and what a screen is. And they certainly don't know how to operate it. And yet, they were able to learn on their own how to operate this computer without any formal instruction, without anybody teaching them, without anybody helping them or telling them. Now, curiosity, wanting to learn, is such a brilliant human trait. And it is so strong when you are a child. Truly, the gift of curiosity makes us learn. There are no walls that come between us and something that we want to learn, if you're really, really interested in it. So, during our explorations and discussions, we focused on also how our own lives had been. Some of us, our parents, were teachers, professors, and some not. There was not too much of material wealth. There was none. But there was nothing major missing either. And what we recollected about our childhoods was that we were always surrounded with books, music, dance, painting, travel, exploration, conversations, listening to people who were experts. And it was such a wonderful, wonderful feeling. You woke up every single day wanting to know a little bit more about this fascinating, beautiful world that we are a part of. And so, this amazing amount of fun that you get up in the morning and you will have something new to learn, and that every child brings with them, is what we wanted to nurture. I know it is difficult to capture in words or paint a picture about what happens when a person becomes inspired, but let me try. When we are inspired, we strive to diligently master whatever it is that inspires us. We work very hard, we bend our backs, we put ourselves into a lot of trouble and make a lot of effort to become good at something. And once we become good at it, we don't stop. We want to become even better. We want to touch excellence. And this is all coming from inside us. But we also know that this curiosity, this wanting to learn, this wanting to master, doesn't usually arise for subjects at school or the classroom. And so we became very conscious of this fact, and we realized our understanding, our insight was that this striving to touch excellence in whatsoever it is that we do is very important. Why is that striving for excellence important? Because that experience of touching excellence, even once in our life, in whatever field it is, transforms us. And it transforms us in the following way. It helps us understand that anything worthwhile in life is worth striving for, it's worth working hard for, because it is extremely satisfying to us inside when we become good at what we wanted to accomplish. It makes us more open. It makes us look out into the world and see others who are striving for excellence or who have touched excellence in their lives. and we go to others and we reach out to them to learn from them what we can take away so that we ourselves can become excellent. And hopefully, maybe, over a period of time, when there is a thought of earning a living, maybe we will turn to our textbooks as well. Maybe we will choose to do well in the subjects that we study as well. And maybe we will excel in our academics as well. When you see lives of people who have accomplished something, you see that they focused on something a little later in their life too, a lot of them. And then they were able to bring their experience of having touched excellence in something and apply it to whatsoever it is that they focused on. Initially, of course, we start with what interests us, what are our natural strengths. And so we start there. But over a period of time, it percolates into everything else that we do. It's the spirit of being able to touch excellence that therefore truly transforms us. Now I know that it is very difficult to, as I said, to explain what happens when the human spirit is excited, human spirit takes part. It is difficult. And so I will lean on a couple of shires who have expressed it really well, where we were in our thinking and where most of us usually are, to where MASTI stands today. So Janab Mustafa Zaidi says, and this is his share, इन्हीं पत्थरों पे चलकर अगर आ सको तो आओ, इन्हीं पत्थरों पे चलकर अगर आ सको तो आओ, come walking on this stony path if you can. Sounds like school, yeah? At least it did to me in my childhood. इन्हीं पत्थरों पे चलकर अगर आ सको तो आओ, मेरे घर के रास्ते में कोई कहकशा नहीं है. Kahkasha is the stars, is the galaxy, the light. Very bleak picture, right? That there is no galaxy leading to my home. So that sounds like the traditional schooling system. We have nothing against the traditional schooling system. It is needed. It very much fulfills a social and a national need and an individual need as well. But that's not enough. And so, Ustad Farid Ayaz, great Kabbar, Ustad Farid Ayaz, in the light of his experience, interprets these same two lines by Janab Mustafa Zaidi in the following way. And we very heartily agree. He says, किसी कहकशा के रास्ते अगर आ सको तो आओ, किसी कहकशा के रास्ते अगर आ सको तो आओ. If you can, come dancing through the stars with the galaxy that belongs to you. मैं मकीन लामका हूँ, कोई राह गुज़र नहीं है. I am everywhere. There is no road that is needed. And so MASTI is the road which helps you have fun and yet touch excellence in your life. And it helps you to become so much fuller as a person, as a human being. So there is no fixed measure of human greatness, of touching excellence. And we're just trying to make a small space to nurture this spirit of excellence through these MASTI centers. While I know what we do is always important, but why we do it is perhaps more important. I've heard that in our Vedic tradition, there are 3 debts that all of us owe. The first one is Dev Rin. Dev Rin is supposed to be debt to the gods, or to existence, or to nature, if you will. The second debt is Pitra Rin, which is debt to your parents, to those who nurtured you. And the third debt, Guru Rin, is the debt to your teachers who taught you and who made you capable. Now the interesting thing is that you can never pay these debts back. You cannot repay those debts to them. And so the only way that you can pay them is pay them forward. So Devran, you pay forward because you've been given this wonderful life. You pay back or you pay forward this debt by honoring all life and encompassing all life. Pitraran, you honor and you pay forward by nurturing others. Not only your own children, but whoever it is that you're able to. And Guru Rin, you acknowledge and you pay forward by teaching others, by making others capable. And that is what we are trying to do. And so we are immensely grateful for your presence here today, and your encouragement is certainly going to help us keep doing this more and more, keep opening new MASTI centers. And thank you very much. I hope you like the origin story.
Thank you so much, Chan. I now request our guest of honor, Ms. Ritu Shah, to come up on the stage and say a few words. A big round of applause for Ritu Shah, please.